Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. What if I told you there's a place on Earth that serves as a vast, open-air archive, preserving a nearly continuous 4 million-year record of our own evolution? A place where the sun-scorched landscape holds the unparalleled narrative of our origins. This place is real. It's called the Omo-Turkana Basin, spanning southern Ethiopia and northern Kenya. It's here, among layers of ancient lakebeds and volcanic ash, that we can trace the branching lineages of our ancestors, from their first steps to the dawn of technology, witnessing the story of how we became human. The story of the Omo-Turkana Basin is written in its rocks. The basin itself sits within the East African Rift Valley, a region where the planet's crust is literally being torn apart. This tectonic activity created a basin that, for millions of years, has been catching sediments carried by the ancient Omo River. Layer upon layer of sand, silt, and clay built up, interspersed with blankets of volcanic ash called tuffs. These tuffs are the master key. Because they can be radiometrically dated with incredible precision, they provide firm, chronological markers for every fossil and artifact found. These deposits, known as the Omo group, are divided into three main geological formations. In Ethiopia, the Shongura Formation gives us a meticulously layered record from 3.6 to about 1.1 million years ago, a veritable Rosetta Stone for understanding ancient habitats. On the eastern shores of Kenya's Lake Turkana lies the Kubi-Fora Formation, arguably the world's richest trove of hominin remains, with fossils from at least 230 individuals. And on the western side, the Nachukui Formation has given us iconic fossils and the world's oldest known stone tools. Together, these formations allow us to walk through time and meet the cast of characters who played out their evolutionary dramas on this ancient stage. Our story here begins with the earliest known species of Australopithecus, living between 4.2 and 3.8 million years ago, Australopithecus anamensis. Fossils found at sites like Kanapoi provide the first indisputable evidence for habitual bipedalism, walking on two legs. The shin bone, or tibia, is thickened at the knee and ankle, showing that this species regularly supported its full body weight on one leg at a time, a key adaptation for walking upright. But while they walked like us, they still retained many ape-like features. Long forearms and flexible wrists suggest they were also skilled climbers, likely using trees for food and safety. Their jaws and teeth, with thick enamel, point to a diet that included tough, abrasive foods like nuts and seeds. Crucially, they didn't live in the open savannas as once thought. Reconstructions show they inhabited a mosaic of woodlands and bushlands near the ancient lake and its rivers, a dynamic landscape that likely drove the evolution of this pivotal species. Then, around 3.5 million years ago, a new and enigmatic character appears, Kenyanthropus platyops, the flat-faced man of Kenya. The discovery of its skull in 1999 challenged the simple, linear view of human evolution. This hominin had a surprisingly broad and flat face, combined with small molar teeth, a combination not seen in its contemporary Australopithecus afarensis, the species of the famous Lucy fossil. The significance of Kenyanthropus is still hotly debated. Some researchers argue its unique face makes it a better candidate for the ancestor of our own genus, Homo, than any Australopithecus. Others suggest the skull is too distorted to be certain. Regardless, its existence proves that by 3.5 million years ago, our family tree was already bushy, with different lineages experimenting with different adaptations. As the Pliocene era gave way to the Pleistocene, a new, highly specialized lineage emerged, the robust Australopithecines, or Paranthropus. These hominins were defined by their massive jaws and enormous molar teeth. An early stage is represented by Paranthropus ethiopicus, but the most famous from the basin is Paranthropus boisei, often nicknamed Nutcracker Man. Living from about 2.3 to 1.2 million years ago, P. boisei had a skull built for generating immense bite forces. It had a wide, dish-shaped face, massive cheek teeth, and a prominent sagittal crest, a ridge of bone on top of the skull where huge chewing muscles attached. This powerful chewing apparatus points to a diet of tough, fibrous plant matter like tubers and hard-shelled nuts. Fossils of Paranthropus boisei are abundant in the Cubiphora region, showing they were a successful and common part of the Turkana landscape for over 1 million years, living right alongside the more slender members of our own genus. And this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Just as Paranthropus was doubling down on its specialized diet, another lineage was moving in a completely different direction, one defined by bigger brains, smaller teeth, and a crucial new adaptation: technology. The Omo-Turkana Basin provides some of the earliest evidence for the emergence of the genus Homo. Between 2.4 and 1.6 million years ago, the basin was home to at least 2 species of early Homo: Homo habilis, or handy man, and Homo rudolfensis. Homo habilis is characterized by a brain size larger than Australopiths and smaller teeth. As its name suggests, it has long been associated with the creation of the first widespread stone tool technology. Homo rudolfensis, known from the iconic skull KNMER 1470 from Cubiphora, had an even larger brain case, around 775 cubic centimeters, and a longer, flatter face. The existence of these 2 distinct species at the same time in the same place suggests they were dividing up the environment in subtle ways, perhaps with different diets or foraging strategies. Their emergence coincides with a period of increased aridity and the expansion of grasslands, suggesting that the adaptability that comes with a larger brain and tool use was becoming a major advantage. Then, around 1.9 million years ago, a revolutionary hominin appeared: Homo erectus. This species marked a radical departure from its predecessors. The most spectacular fossil is KNMWT 15000, the Turkana boy, a remarkably complete 1.5 million-year-old skeleton. It revealed that Homo erectus had long legs and shorter arms, proportions strikingly similar to our own, and built for a life fully committed to walking and running on the ground. The Turkana boy, who was about 53 inches tall, would have grown to be significantly taller than any hominin that came before. Homo erectus also had a much larger brain, with an adult capacity around 900 cubic centimeters. This increase in brain size is coupled with a major technological innovation: the Acheulean stone tool industry, characterized by large, symmetrically worked hand axes. Even more amazing, footprint evidence from Cubiphora, dated to 1.5 million years ago, directly proves that Homo erectus and Paranthropus boisei were walking across the same muddy shorelines. They shared the same landscape. But ultimately, the path of technological flexibility taken by Homo erectus proved more successful, while the intense dietary specialization of Paranthropus boisei led to their extinction a few 100,000 years later. This brings us to the tools themselves, which chronicle the development of our ancestors' minds. For decades, the Oldowan industry, first found in Tanzania, was thought to be the dawn of technology. But in 2011, a discovery at a site called Lomekwi 3 on the western shore of Lake Turkana rewrote history. Archaeologists unearthed stone tools dated to an astonishing 3.3 million years ago, predating the Oldowan by 700,000 years. These Lomekwian tools are large, heavy, and crudely made. The tool makers would strike a stone against a stationary anvil to chip off sharp flakes. The identity of these tool makers is a complete mystery. At 3.3 million years old, they predate the earliest known fossils of Homo by 500,000 years. The most likely candidates are Kenyanthropus platyops or Australopithecus afarensis. If so, it means toolmaking was not an invention exclusive to our genus, a fundamental shift in our understanding. Around 2.6 million years ago, the Oldowan industry emerges. These tools, found in abundance in the Turkana Basin, show a greater understanding of stone fracture. A coarse stone is struck with a hammerstone to detach sharp-edged flakes. These flakes were the primary tools, the Swiss army knives of their day, used for cutting meat, scraping hides, and processing plants. Evidence of butchery on animal bones found with Oldowan tools proves our ancestors were using this technology to access meat and marrow, providing crucial fats and proteins that likely fueled the evolution of our energy-demanding brains. Then, appearing as early as 1.76 million years ago and strongly associated with Homo erectus, comes the Acheulean industry. Its signature tool is the hand axe, a large bifacially worked tool, flaked on both sides to produce a symmetrical, pear-shaped form. Creating an Acheulean hand axe required a huge cognitive leap. It demanded foresight, planning, and a mental template of the final product. The consistency of these designs across vast areas points to robust cultural transmission and a shared sense of purpose. This technological prowess was key to the success of Homo erectus, allowing them to process large animals and eventually become the first hominin to expand out of Africa. Of course, none of this evolution happened in a vacuum. The hominins of the Turkana Basin lived in a world of profound and constant environmental change. The landscape was a mosaic of riverine forests, woodlands, and expanding grasslands. The long-term trend was one of increasing dryness, but this change wasn't gradual. It was punctuated by rapid pulses of climatic shifts. These pulses correspond remarkably well with major evolutionary events. The split between the specialized Paranthropus and the tool-wielding Homo around 2.5 million years ago coincides with a significant expansion of open grasslands. The appearance of the highly adaptable Homo erectus around 1.8 million years ago occurred during another period of intense climate variability. In fact, recent research shows these shifts could be incredibly rapid, with the climate flipping from arid to humid in less than 200 years. This would have placed a premium on adaptability. The hominins who could switch food sources, modify their behavior, and rely on technology to navigate these unpredictable landscapes would have had a massive survival advantage. This supports the variability selection hypothesis that our key human traits, like big brains and culture, were driven not by adapting to one environment, but by the need to be adaptable in the face of constant change. The Omo-Turkana Basin is more than a collection of fossils. It is the theater where the grand narrative of human origins was forged. Its geological layers provide the timeline, its fossils introduce the cast, and its stone tools offer a script of burgeoning intellect. The story it tells is one of diversity, of multiple hominin lineages coexisting and competing, each finding its own way to survive. It shows us that we are the lucky inheritors of a legacy of adaptability, honed over millions of years in the crucible of the East African Rift. And as erosion continues to peel back the layers of time, this extraordinary basin will continue to be our foundational window into the 4 million years that made us human.